Ladies and gentlemen, live from T-Briz Studios, it's the Adult Baby Show.
I'm a sweet boy.
I'll let a girl suck any part of me. I mean, honestly.
It's just in my mouth, just.
Oh, like, I'll try anything once.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Except getting to work on time.
You just ruined my day. Fuck your day.
Oh, let's get the feet involved.
It's not a nut. Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud with you.
Some people
Yeah.
are absolutely
Uh-huh.
disgusted by me.
He ain't lying.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Adult Babies Podcast, episode 275. I am B.
Chick.
I'm Ryan.
How you guys doing?
I'm doing
Yeah.
fantastic. We were just having a discussion about cleaning of
It's so funny.
washing clothes.
It's so funny because Chick organically talks like quick, and then when he tries to intro something, we were just having a discussion about cleaning.
And I wasn't even right because it's about washing clothes.
You sound like a gruff Regis Philbin. We were discussing about clean. All right. What were we talking about?
Is
with
Regis
cleaning?
dead?
He died. R.I.P.
I know they retired. I wasn't sure if he was dead.
We were a big fan of Regis on this podcast. We referenced
Yeah.
Regis a lot. Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why?
I don't remember any of it, but I'll take his word for
Weren't
it.
we? I don't know.
I was a fan of Regis in general, so I'm not,
I thought we had an
wouldn't
episode-
be surprised.
I thought we had an episode where when Regis died that we really.
We probably did. We're big on deaths. We always.
Well, that's one thing. If to memorialize.
I think it was a
guys-
memorializing.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you're a big fan of him. It means you discussed when he died.
I like Regis. I was a big fan. Anyway, me and Chick used to stick our noses up against the side of the house where the.
So with your dryer, when you have the dryer on and the smoke vents is usually out, and I would like to think they're venting it outside, but it always had the fresh smell and the warm, hot air. It just felt good.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
like
I
a-
used to always go by it if I happened to be outside when it was running.
Yeah, we'll find out in 3 years. That's where most cancer.
That's where it came from. Yeah.
Dryer sheets.
Yeah.
That's why my nose is falling off. You know,
Yeah, that's
you
because I
like-
was huffing.
You
dryer
huffed them
sheets.
when they were in the machine and it was venting them out.
Yeah.
My sister had an obsession, like a true problem, where she would just buy dye sheets and just smell them. Like she would literally just sit, watch TV, and just smell
Oh wow.
sheets of.
Did she
downy.
get sick from it?
No, I mean,
I wasn't-
I don't think so.
No, I wasn't sure if it was like we have to get this
Yeah, I don't know.
fixed.
I think she just had this
I could see that the
addiction
smell
to smelling
is so
it. Yeah.
good.
There's something about the freshness
Yeah.
of the dryer sheet.
Well, there's the movie with Philip Seymour Hoffman when he's addicted to smelling gas, and he's at gas pumps.
I get that. Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, I like
yeah.
gas.
What is
I
that? What is that movie?
Love Liza, I want to say. I could be wrong with the title. I could be mixing up movies, but I'll check it out.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's fantastic. He's literally he's going to the gas station attendants are yelling, "Get away from my pump!"
Yeah.
And he's sitting there fucking
I
sniffing
get.
gas.
I love the smell of gas. Those markers. Remember those old markers?
Oh,
Big fat
yeah.
markers? I have one of those in there, and every once in a while, I open the drawer to look for something, and I see that, and I pull it out, and I give it a couple whiffs. And I'm like, I gotta put that away
it a
because
huff.
that's
It's like a smelling salt.
Yeah.
yeah,
Does it do they still have those markers?
yeah,
Like they don't do
yeah.
they still smell like that or
yeah.
oh all right. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure because I feel like they always we can't have that anymore.
Is
Yeah,
it
they
bad for
do.
you though?
I think so.
I
Yeah.
can't imagine it being good.
Like they have the what else do people sniff? That's no. There's there's store things that people sniff to get high from. Like
Oh,
you get,
the
White
Whippets.
Out.
Well, Whippets isn't really a
Whiteout. I sniffed
Whiteout?
whiteout once, and it got me dizzy.
I bet you
Yeah.
glue, like super glue.
yeah.
That's a tough one because God forbid you get some. That could be rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm big on smells, but
I
you know,
don't
good smells, but also if it's something.
Like strong.
Sometimes I'm weird. Like sometimes I'll smell something I know smells bad,
And
but I kind of like it.
Yeah, that's I do that too. Sometimes.
Yeah,
Like what?
it's almost embarrassing. Sometimes I'll be by a dumpster. And
No,
I'll be
see, I can't. That's not one I like.
And they'll be it's like that. dumpster juice.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, and I'm feeling like that's disgusting, but I kind of like have like this almost like morbid like
Curiosity to be like,
Yeah.
what is that?
Yeah.
He's got a curious nose.
So
Yeah.
I find when people, and I notice it at home a lot. I used to bust my parents' bust their balls about it. Is when
Why'd you correct chops to balls?
I know I said jobs.
Oh, job. I thought you said bust my parents' chops, and like not chops, balls. Like, why
I'd have to listen back. Maybe I did.
Yeah.
But like whenever they would smell something bad, they would up like trying to smell it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if somebody farts just for argument's sake, and it's like, oh, that smells bad, and then someone's like they're really
Yeah.
trying to, like, I
Yeah.
don't smell it, and they're like trying to. I'm like, if it smells bad,
Yeah, it was my grandfather who was English. You know, he was born in England. He came over here with my mother when she was 6. Real, I don't know why that's not relevant to the story. But when we were a kid, he'd be in this car. Like if he would break wind, he would say, "If you take big whiffs, it'll go faster." It's almost like if you get it out of the air, into
get it out of
like,
the air.
then it goes by quicker. Yeah,
that's funny.
so fun. I really wish I was a grandfather. Like I was on the fence about kids. You know, like even now, like I'm.
You don't want to be a
I'm on
dad,
the-
but you want to be a
I
grandfather.
feel like, man, what a great gig.
I got a joke about
Grandfather.
that, you know.
Do you?
Yeah. Basically, it's about like I'm not gonna have kids, but my dad wants me to be a grandfather because of how great it is.
Yeah,
It's just sort of
Yeah.
that stuff.
that's a great.
But
yeah,
it is true. A grandfather seems like a fun place to be in
Yeah.
life.
absolutely.
I had the premise that I wanted to write a joke on, but I still could potentially, was that like whenever you talk to somebody and they talk about their grandfather, they always live these like crazy lives. Like my grandfather was a
Yeah.
World War II vet, or
Yeah.
you know, they have some crazy story that's something that they did. And I look at my life, and if I was a grandfather, like I have nothing crazy going on, like driving around my friends throwing donuts at kids. Like there's no moment where it's
Yeah.
like proud grandfather.
That's a lot of people in our generation, though.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what I'm
not
saying.
just you.
Times have changed a little.
Yeah.
But there still are those people.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about like, do you ever look back in your life and go like, what did I like?
What did I do?
What did I do? Where did I go wrong? Like,
Yeah.
we talk about this a lot, but like I could have, if I really applied myself in school. Sometimes I was in the city the other day, like this nice place called the Smith in the Flatiron Building, and looking at all these like people dressed really well, obviously just off work in Manhattan. Some, you know, I don't know, finance or whatever.
Yeah.
And I go, they really applied themselves. And, like they really like, I'm like eating this place. I'm like, I can't afford any of this stuff, but I like to do it. So I'm paying with a credit card that I can't, you know, pay
Yeah.
off. But I'm like, I could have done this. I could have gone to school.
What did you do? Because you seem like a guy that's very together. Me and Chick, self-explanatory why it didn't happen.
I saw a meme today that was very funny. It was a picture. It was a video of the guy from The Sopranos. You know, the head of The Sopranos.
Oh yeah, Tony.
Yeah, Tony, but you know, the actor, but as the Soprano, just driving. It was like a meme with like a, it was all dark out, and said, "Me driving to my blue collar job at 5 o'clock because I wanted to be funny in high school."
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah,
That was
it's
good.
like I'm like, yeah, I identify with that so much. I'm like, I
Yeah.
just wanted to fuck around.
I agree with you, but I also think it's not even a matter of success. It's also things, just like there's certain things that don't cost a ton of money that you could do that we don't. Like I just look at things that I haven't done, like not money oriented, just like, you know, there's a whole
Yeah.
bucket list of sometimes you
I,
look back.
I do those things, but I am in debt because I do them.
You know what though? It is
Yeah.
it's fine, bro.
Yeah. We all just took a minute to reflect on.
Like,
But all I would have done was just start stand up earlier and never have stopped. Like I would have started early, been in the city, and I would have put all my effort into that. That's what I would have done. It wouldn't have been like I was, no part of me wants to be that guy at the bar with the suit on. Like,
Oh,
I don't
I
want to be
hear
that guy.
you.
No, yeah.
But like that is also like them making good money. But I would just, I think about it all the time. If I fantasize, my biggest fantasy, my work fantasy, is going back to middle school with all the knowledge I have now.
oh, 100%.
And like, what would I do with that?
I would have done teaching too. Like I would have went into teaching. I think that's what I would have wanted to. growing, like looking back now, what makes me happy and all that, I would
And
have.
then you do it and you don't apply yourself again.
Yeah.
And you get back to the stage. And you go, fuck, I did it again.
I did it
did it
again. Fuck. They should make a movie about that, about going, like having the opportunity to relive your life and then making the same dumb
That
decisions.
would be great.
Yeah.
I have we were talking about this on the way here. My biggest fantasy is getting that Marty McFly Back to the Future almanac and being able to like place bets
Yeah.
and just like not big bets on sports, but like medium size,
Chipping away.
chipping away at it.
Yeah.
Where I don't get caught. Now we were saying I know the scores for all the so sports is ruined for me. But I don't have to work. I just
Like
make
you
my
couldn't
money.
enjoy the game because you're like, I know
Yeah.
who wins this game.
Well, that's
'cause
because
I know.
he brought it up too, and he was like, "If you bet on these games, you're gonna know." Like, and I was thinking about it.
Me and
I'm
Chick
like,
were talking about betting the entire way here.
It sucks the fun out of gambling. It's cool to win money, but anybody who gambles still enjoys the game. If you have it, would you rather know the scores and win money? Yeah, obviously. But it wouldn't be fun gambling knowing it's just like
But it would be fun to
winning
be
a lot
like,
of money
all right,
and not have to work.
I'm not going to work. This is my job,
Yeah.
and I'm going to focus 100% on, doing those things that I want to do.
How well do you think you would do without the almanac?
Well, right now, I'm not. I mean, I don't.
Like by memory, like if you had to go by memory,
Oh,
how well do you think you could do?
all right. So how?
So obviously you're not going to know game by game. Some big games you're going to know, like if
Yeah.
it was a famous game. But you could say like, all right, what was it? Early '90s Cowboys. Like if you just bet heavy on the Cowboys in the early '90s, even if you bet a couple losses throughout the
You're gonna come
season,
out on top.
you're going to come out on top. So you can just do that.
so you're saying I get like a chance to look at the almanac?
No, your knowledge of
You just
of
based
it
off
now.
of what you know now.
Based off
Going
of now,
Just
like-
what I remember.
Just what you remember, yeah.
like how well could you hit games just based off of memory?
Regular
like-
season, not very much, but maybe a few Super Bowls. Like definitely.
Super Bowls, you can make good money on the Super Bowls.
I can make money on every game. Once you remember, you remember who wins and if it was
You
close or
remember
not.
Super Bowl wins.
Easily.
I
Yeah.
forget the next year. Like it was Chiefs last year, right?
Chiefs,
yeah.
Eagles,
Beat the
yeah.
Eagles.
It was
Chiefs,
the
Eagles.
Kelsey Bowl.
Okay, so that I remember.
Football, yeah, the Super Bowls I remember.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't-
series
I
maybe not as
usually-
much.
I don't
usually
see,
forget.
but then again, who won last year? Was it the
Chiefs.
the Chiefs?
Oh,
It would
trust
be
me.
really like you could bet that New England undefeated
Yes.
season.
Before the
just-
season starts,
You,
they were
you
going to
could
go
just bet
undefeated.
every game. You could be like, yeah, this is their undefeated season. You could just bet them heavy.
Yeah.
Like so you wouldn't be able to bet every game, but you could bet enough.
Which is good.
Like you could go and say like the Giants, the 2 years they won the Super Bowl, they weren't big favorites. If you went before the season and put odds on the Giants to win the Super Bowl and just put
Big money on that.
$100
yeah.
bucks or whatever, whatever you had, and
if you remember,
big
like,
money
You could parlay like
with the New England that they beat New England, like whatever it is.
yeah.
well, that's what I would like to do
Yeah,
and not
it's-
work.
Yeah, but that's the same. That's like having knowledge in the past and making it work. That's the ultimate thing. Yeah,
It would be I would. Now the thing is, you have that knowledge, but you don't. Do you still know how your life turned out from the other, or you just a really intelligent person at that age? You get what I'm saying? So like, the potential to make the same decisions is still there. Or is it
but
like,
you wouldn't make the same decisions. You wouldn't end up in the same position because too many things would change that you wouldn't end up in the same position. But there's
Okay.
there's certain places where I'd want to make sure I ended up again. You know what I mean?
right? And that's what I was curious. Like, you don't want to watch everything out.
Yeah, right. But then like that butterfly effect. Like
Everything.
if my life changed a little bit, maybe that person I wanted to meet, maybe they like my butterfly effect maybe changed their course, and they're not going to be where I think they're going to be, or
And then that
they're not
could
going to be the
change.
same person that I think they're going to be.
Because now you could indirectly meet somebody else, and that person could completely change every decision you make too, and you could still end up in a shitty spot depending on who that person is.
And maybe you're not even the producer of the Adult Babies podcast,
That I'd make sure I was here.
and that would be a problem for us.
That would be a problem for us. But if we were successful, would we be doing the Adult Babies? You imagine this was like a business podcast, and our our Bizarro world. It was like a finance podcast, like three of us, but we were all finance guys.
I can't in any world. I can't imagine that. I really can't.
That would like, you imagine? So we all have our things, but we still end up on the podcast, but the whole premise is different.
Yeah.
And we're like the Bizarro fucking B and Chick and Ryan.
Yeah. What do you got going on with the camera?
It's annoying me that it's not level.
Oh, okay.
Thank God we have you.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we were filming on my camera phone not long ago,
And you weren't even filming it half the time.
And not syncing it.
and not singing. Well, we didn't know how to sync it.
Yeah, well, that's how this all started. I said, send me those files and I'll sync them.
You sunk them.
Oh, that's true. So we could get the better audio over the.
Yeah, you want the mic audio.
audio,
You just
that's
had
how it all
just had the
started.
room. You just had the room audio.
Yeah.
From
Just
the
a
phone.
fucking phone here. Let's
Yeah,
talk and record.
And everybody here, like it's like people eavesdropping on the next in the room over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
That looks way better. I'm so very happy I made that.
Oh, good.
So dryer sheets. No.
Yeah.
So how was everybody's weekend, B? You know, we were supposed to have.
Oh yeah, anybody who is excited to hear about our adventure of ice skating, B canceled almost immediately.
Almost
after,
immediately.
after leaving.
Well, isn't that better than like waiting?
For us,
No,
it's
yeah,
cool,
it is.
but
It's just funny. If someone's like,
I know.
like somebody. I think somebody commented on
Somebody
the
did.
Instagram thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You know, because
she's been on the show.
Jen is she likes to stir the pot because Jen knew exactly that I wasn't gonna make it because I talked to Jen.
So she did know.
oh, she was
she commented
just
just
stirring
to-
the pot.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love
Good for
her.
her.
She nailed it because I was like, oh yeah,
I
I couldn't
know.
wait to be like, nope.
Yeah. So last week, if you didn't listen last week, we left with being very excited about going ice skating, and I had, you know, when you look on your phone calendar and you're like, oh, I'm clear, but I went back and I saw on the
Grizzly Pear.
the Grizzly Pear website at my spots. I was on Saturday, Friday, Saturday. So
Listen, you do.
if it makes you guys feel better, I had 2 great shows. All right, 2 great shows
does
at
a
the
little
Grizzly
bit.
Pear. 10
I'm
o'clock,
happy they were good and not bad that you fucking passed up on.
10 o'clock Friday, 10 o'clock Saturday. Friday,
great.
I opened the show, had a great set. Crowd was amazing. The Comedy Cellar was closed for a private event, so I think we got
Wow.
got a lot of that bleed in. Because
How much must that cost to close the?
well,
Was it filming? They
it was
filming
a
something?
big VIP event at over there. So somebody
How close are they?
just a couple doors down.
Oh, really?
So it's right on McDougal Street, and yeah, the Comedy Cellar pretty much owns.
So whoever doesn't go to the cellar or can't get into the cellar goes to the Grizzly Pear.
Whoever's not smart enough to buy in advance,
Yeah,
thinks they can
buy
just
in
wait
advance.
online to go to the Comedy Cellar.
I got you.
The Comedy Cellar owns pretty much most of West 4th Street now, and McDougal has the original Comedy Cellar. If you haven't gone, and you're a comedy fan, you should definitely try to get tickets.
The
in advance
original
and go.
room, I think,
That's the room.
is the room to go to
That's
because
the
it just has the history there.
When you get tickets there, do you buy tickets for the room or it's just like
You can
buy
pick you
tickets.
pick which
Oh,
room
okay.
you want to go to, but then they're opening a 4th room.
They're opening. So if you're familiar with the West 4th Street subway station, right across there's a McDonald's there.
Used to be a McDonald's.
Used to be a McDonald's, big McDonald's, and Comedy Cellar has bought that now. So it's not open. It's still looks like an old McDonald's, but
Yeah.
is it going to be called Comedy Cellar or is it like a different place under their umbrella?
It'll be under their umbrella. Like they have the Village Underground over there now, and
Fat Black Pussycat.
Fat Black Pussycat, which is like a bar.
Do they own Grizzly Pear?
No, they don't.
Is Greenwich Village Comedy
Greenwich
Club
Village is still there,
open?
but I don't know what they do.
Because they used to get some bleed over too, but
I think they do. I'm sure they do. Yeah.
like when Grizzly Pear, has that always been just a comedy club?
No, it was a bar for a while with.
Yeah, I
like,
feel like
just
when I used to do
mic.
open mics there, it was just a bar.
It was
but they had
mostly
they
a
had a showroom
bar.
in the back.
But then
And now it's like a full-on comedy club.
In the last year, they've turned it it's a comedy. It's still you got the bar in the front, comedy club in the back, but and then they open the location on 54th Street too, which is a full comedy club same thing, a bar. It's
Yeah.
more looks like a club, but that downtown gets those Friday, Saturday shows are packed,
That's awesome.
and they're good crowds. So it's nice.
I'll come down one Saturday when you're there.
Yeah, I would love. It was my last spot of the month, but yeah, I did a show Saturday. I closed that show out, which was fun, but also, man, the trains just suck. I took the train there.
Yeah.
I was happy to close it out. It was awesome,
It's late though.
but it's late. Like I didn't get. My train I think was
Good.
the last.
You deserve it.
I did deserve it. My train last out was 11:45. Otherwise, I'm waiting till like 2.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's why I don't like it. That's why I don't like taking the train. It's
Yeah.
nice, but I don't like that panic of like, all right, I got to go.
So when you did the city shows or whatever, you driving?
I would usually drive in, yeah.
You also don't drink,
Yeah, that's never
true.
an issue to me. Yeah,
so
Yeah.
you don't have to
for the
worry about
mics,
driving.
I would drive in a lot. Shows though, yeah, I would. But
that worry
McDougal's
of looking at your
also.
watch, like you know when the next train is, and you'd be like, all right, I gotta. If I leave in 5 minutes, I'm good. And then if something happens, then you're like, no, I'm fucked.
I usually don't do 10 o'clock spots. I usually get like the 8 o'clock, but I had 2 back-to-back 10s. And if I'm going up, I volunteer to go up early. But the Saturday, I had nothing to do the next day, so I was like, I don't care.
Yeah,
But then, man, I ended up taking the Massapequa train, and then I had to take an Uber home. It was awful. I didn't get home till like after like 2:30 anyway. But it was
Did you
fun.
do a lot in the city in your day?
not a lot. A good amount. When I first started, yes, like I was in there pretty frequently. I did a lot of bringer shows, which gets exhausting.
Where
like
were
getting
you
people-
doing bringer shows?
So when I first started, it was what is Broadway now, but it was still the Improv,
Okay.
but not the original Improv. And then they got sued, and they had to change the name to it became Broadway.
Oh, so the Broadway was improv before, and improv, the original was a few.
Yeah, my
blocks
first
down,
first
right?
tapes at the Broadway were the Improv.
Say
Says
Improv?
improv behind me. Yeah,
Huh.
and then
I didn't realize
the
that
last couple
used to be an
tapes said
Improv.
say Broadway. So I have proof of the conversion between the two. I did some like Mike's at Greenwich Village. Neil used to produce a lot of shows at I think Parkside. There's like a
Parkside Lounge, yeah.
yeah, there's like a little showroom in the back. So we did a lot there. He did a lot of shows at when Eastville used to be downtown.
Yes.
Before it was in Brooklyn.
Yep.
We did a bunch of shows there.
Wasn't that such a weird room?
But Broadway, I was like past at Broadway. So
Yeah.
I used to do that most, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the Eastville was weird.
It's
yeah.
like so big, and I've never done. Maybe like I guess the better shows there.
What's
were,
big?
That Eastville room on what the hell is it? The downtown. It used to be Eastville. No,
Yeah, it was a pretty small room though.
no, it was big.
Were you ever overlapping with him? Like, when did you stop doing comedy?
4 years ago, maybe.
Oh, so you would like so when you were starting, did you know him?
No,
I
don't
was
think
I
we
was
ran
only
into each other.
I was only at Governor's for like the last
at that
part
point.
of
Oh,
it.
really?
I didn't do any
Yeah.
governors.
Okay.
And I didn't
still
really do
don't
any
really.
mics. But I used to do some mics. I used to do the Belmore Bean.
I did, yeah, but I don't know if I've done the Belmore Bean like a handful of times.
Yeah. It's funny, yeah.
I wonder if you guys ever crossed
years
paths
ago.
and just didn't realize it.
It's possible.
Yeah. Well, you know that I drove him to a comedy night one night before I knew him. You know that
That's the first time I really met him.
Would
He called-
Neil
he-
or something?
Uber.
I was driving an Uber
Get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
and he was I didn't know who he was at all. I picked him up at I guess it was your parents' house.
My parents'
I
house.
drove him to across from the Governor's. It was a hotel, Clarion, and we got to talking. And he says, "Oh, I'm going to do this comedy show, whatever." And I said, "Oh,
I
is
think
that Mike?"
I think you knew.
I knew where you were
Yeah.
going, and I said,
You
"Oh,
were
Mike, I
like,
used to do comedy show."
Are you a comedian?
Maybe,
you-
yeah, because I knew the
I was
hotel
like,
you were
oh.
going, and I did the comedy shows there.
Yeah.
So maybe I did bring it up.
Do you remember like when did you realize that was him though? In the
But we like Facebook friends
No,
with each other. like,
I
that
became
night.
friends with him that night. I was like,
Oh, okay.
Because I think-
okay, all
We
right.
We started talking about Neil. Like we had,
Yeah.
Neil, we,
Yeah.
we both had Neil in common as friends.
Neil, the
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
bring her together.
So then we're just like on Facebook. I would just see him on Facebook, but I was always like, "Yeah, that's the guy that I drove in the Uber."
That's the guy I met in the
Yeah,
Uber.
the comic.
Imagine that
It's
if you
so-
would have said when that happened, like what in X amount of years
I
we've been
know.
doing a pod together.
so
Yeah,
weird.
I know, right?
Life
It's like
is
I'm
so
driving
weird
in front,
with
and you're like, we'll do a podcast together. one
Yeah,
day.
eventually we'll be on the same podcast.
That's so funny.
It really is.
Yeah.
That might have been because I only Ubered to that place 1 or 2 times because it was
It's
a
a
far.
long- it's a long ride, yeah.
How'd he tip? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I actually never. I never expected tips from people.
Were you allowed like that? They're allowed to get tips, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just never. I never expect it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
But that show might have been when I was with the Bagel Boss guy.
Oh yeah,
that was-
I think you're right. I think you
that
told me
was-
about that.
That
Dude,
was-
I remember
Yeah,
that
that
time.
was-
You know what's so funny? That's so because the other day, sorry, I got electric socks here. My battery fell. out.
What do you mean you got
They
electric?
keep
I just
you
got
warm.
I just
Oh,
got them in the
heated
mail. We can
socks?
talk about them after this. They're not. I don't. They're not working as well as I would hope they.
I do want to talk about this because I have a thing with socks.
Yeah. All right. So, Chick was texting us. She goes, "I want to start DMing celebrities."
Oh yeah. I did. By the way, you're in your first year of the podcast. He's
No, I
done this
know.
every.
But I
once-
never really followed through. But can I tell you one
That's
thing?
the problem.
Once
That's what he's,
every
that's what
year,
he's saying.
he's
You
like-
never
he's
follow
like-
through.
But here's the difference.
He gets very
now.
excited.
I am not embarrassed of like. So if I got a celebrity, for
When have you
argument's sake,
ever been embarrassed?
in the sense of when am I going to come to my parents' house? We did it at my house. We did it at your like. You couldn't bring him anywhere to do it, and it was a terrible filming.
Well, this is not embarrassing. It comes
No,
to.
because we have cameras.
Yeah, but
it
now
looks
we're an
good.
hour out of Manhattan.
But I told you, if you do book somebody, there's
could-
there's studios around Long Island. I'll
Exactly.
book a space and bring everything
Our
there.
production level is so much better now that there's to me there's nothing
right.
to be embarrassed of, and we can make it work for anybody. So yeah, I feel better about reaching out to somebody now.
So I told you, you're like, anybody you want me to start with? I'm like, just somebody who's barely a celebrity. And I was going to say, like, maybe like the Bagel Boss. Start there. And that's what I was going to say, Bagel Boss, but I didn't write it. And then I think you're right.
That was definitely
I think
the
you
show.
mentioned.
because that was
the
one of
Bagel
the
Boss
few
thing
shows I was like, I'm gonna Uber and have a few drinks and hang out after because they had that.
We almost had the Bagel Boss guy.
We did. That Clarion also had a karaoke night. So you would do comedy downstairs, and then there was a karaoke upstairs, and it was everybody in that town. Like a bunch of older people would do karaoke there, and it was hilarious.
It's funny.
But that night, we hung after, and the Bagel Boss guy did his whole the comedy, which was what you would expect it, and then he went upstairs and he sung, and we sung with him.
If I called the Bagel Boy, I got his number from a cop.
no, we don't, not anymore.
What are we going to do with a Bagel
I
Boss?
s-
now?
No, not now. I'm talking about back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When I first got his number, if it would everything would have happened maybe a day earlier, we probably would have had him on. We had him, and then he got an agent. Remember, he had that fucking agent.
Yeah,
That's right.
I met the agent.
Yeah,
he wasn't
he was
much of
doing
a
But he
legitimate
just stepped
radio-
in, and then everything was, and then it was like boom, we were done.
He was doing like legitimate radio shows. and
Yeah,
stuff,
exactly. There was like I had him. It was like a small window where we almost had him.
That's funny.
He was calling up, like, yeah, it was weird.
It's funny that they put up that Clarion. It's across the street from McGuire's, which is like an actual comedy club. And it's like, are they trying to get the bleed over too? Like, why did they pick that
It
place?
is weird.
Because they used to be in Medford on 112. That's where I first started going with the Mike Dillon comedy
Oh,
shows.
okay.
And then he moved to that one.
But isn't that a good idea to kind of put yourself near?
but-
I know you don't,
Yeah.
in theory, want
Yeah, but
a
that's-
competition or want
I wonder if
rollovers,
they
but-
also think that people get confused because you'd have signs outside that said comedy night. So if people like driving, thinking they're going to the McGuire's, he probably was hoping that people would go there confused, thinking like,
That's
here's the
probably
comedy
it.
club. Oh, I guess it's in here. Like, yeah, this is, it says the
Yeah,
address is right here.
there's a
It
comedy
It
club.
says comedy right there. So,
Yeah.
okay, pull in there. And they get up there and it's not at all the show they
And
want
then you
to
walk
see.
downstairs, yeah, and you see the Bagel Boss guy. And dude, one of the worst shows. I think I've talked about this on this podcast. There was a show that like a veteran wanted to do. Like we're starting the show, and there was like a veteran in the audience in a wheelchair, big guy, and we get word that he wants to go up there. He just wants to tell one joke.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I
like-
remember you telling me this.
And so, you know, Mike is like, by the way, Mike Dillon, another Long Island guy who's been around. He, you know, interesting fella. I used to host a bunch of those shows, so that's how I got involved with that.
Yeah.
So he was like, he's a veteran. We got to give him time. We're like, all right. Guy comes up in a wheelchair. He was wheelchair bound. So me and Matt Aravallo had to lift him up in his wheelchair, and like we almost dropped him on the
that's scary,
stage.
yeah.
Matt Aravallo, he's a funny guy too.
Yeah, Matt's great. But yeah, he did time. It wasn't great. You know, thank you for your service, but
Yeah.
it wasn't good.
It's not this service.
Yeah. And I think he like fell going into it was just bad. It was so many bad shows there.
I hate when people want to, whatever, just finish it. It just bothers me when people just think they can.
No,
do
that
it.
was
I
basically it.
hate these bad independent shows that people put on, or like those shows, because I feel like the audience members that go there, they're gonna think, if this is what comedy is, I don't ever want to come to this again.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
And then you're eliminating
it's bad for comedy.
potential customers
Audience,
for
yeah.
good shows. Like you got the show coming up. You know, you booked it.
Let's plug that show.
It's
January 5th, baby.
January 5th at the Alibi. But like that as a lineup, I would put against any lineup like happening on Long Island anywhere. Like
That's a killer lineup.
Yeah.
But if people just think they're going, oh, the last comedy show was a shit show.
yeah, like, well, that's it. They're like, I don't really like live comedy. I'm like,
I don't like comedy.
it's like but that show, like I would. Yeah, I mean that's the best comedy you're getting on Long Island. To me, like Governors used to be great, and like this is me speaking. This is not nobody else shares this opinion on this podcast. Some people might want to work there, but like they don't do the same shows that they used to do. Like
I think Governors is trash.
I've always enjoyed my time.
yeah. Well, listen, they get good audiences that come in there. Like, well, not they fill a room, they get people that will laugh, but they were on their way to cultivating like a good comedy audience. And then they kind of threw it away.
I actually feel like that Governors should be almost a place where comics who want to come and hit a Long Island, like if they want to get outside the city and do a good
That's what it used
show,
to be. That's what it used to be.
you could go to the Governors,
That's
and
what it
there's
was
no
for a
names
while.
there. It's not. It's
That's
just
not true. They get names there.
But it used to be every weekend.
not
Every
like
weekend,
it should.
every weekend, all three clubs used to be a name that had some
yeah,
notoriety.
I feel like there's so many New York comics that there's no way that they shouldn't have.
when we cut this out,
I disagree.
yeah,
They should have better shows more often.
It's not even a matter of like good shows, bad shows. It's like they used to book people who people would say like, "Oh shit, this person's going to play that. I want to go see this person." Now they just get people who say, "I want to go see a comedy show," and show up at the clubs. There's two different approaches to booking a comedy club. There's just putting comics on stage and hoping people show up to see comedy, and there's booking a name that people are going to go, "Oh, I want to go see that guy there."
They did have Tom Green there this weekend.
Yeah,
Who wouldn't want to see TJ?
yeah. I just watched the Clippers last night.
Well, listen. I mean, at the end of the day, I am so on board with what you're saying because there's a lot of shows everywhere, and it's not just Long Island; it's everywhere that have lineups that will. If you go and you watch this show, you're gonna be like, comedy is awful.
Yeah,
You're gonna leave with a bad taste in your mouth, and it doesn't have to be that way.
yeah,
This show that we're gonna be on, it's all killers.
yeah.
And it's $5 to get in, by the way. $5.
Are you worried about the selling out? It's a small place. Like,
Yeah, it's gonna
why
sell
not
out.
buy tickets?
I'm
you're
an
gonna have
idiot.
people. You gotta have people show up and not be able to get in.
You know what?
So why don't you put together like an Eventbrite thing and just have tickets in advance?
Maybe I'll do that.
But he also doesn't like charging people to come see comedy.
I just want a good audience. But you're right.
Right,
But he
it's $5,
undersells what
you-
he has. Like that show, in my opinion, $5. Who are these people?
$5.
That's what I'm just saying.
I
I also feel like it's like, oh, this is like people would probably pay $20 for that show or $15.
it's worth $20.
That's what I'm saying. You almost say that the show's not good by pricing it so low. You get in my opinion.
I would just hate for people to show up and come there and then not be able to get in. Like I would always rather buy tickets in advance because I know I'm driving in a place that I know I have a way to get in.
All right, maybe I'll figure something out then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can
because
help,
I
you
am
know.
starting to worry about that because I've had a few people reach out to me.
And people want to know that they're going to go there and have a seat. So some people do. A lot of people are like Ryan who want to buy in advance.
That is
You
a
make
small
it.
place.
You can make it $5 on Eventbrite, $7 at the door, $10 at the door. You know that
Yeah.
kind of. So you can show up, but you might not get in. But at least they had the option to buy in advance. And
All
I
right,
know
so I'm going to do that. I'll set up a little Eventbrite thing.
And if you sell so much on Eventbrite that you know that you're not going to be able to fit them, then it's show
I
out.
think you probably put a max, right?
I would put
But that's my
max.
point. Is now you know ahead of time that show sold out. Can't
Yeah, that's
come.
great. I mean, I'm definitely the weak link on this show, so I'm excited about that.
I don't think there is a wink.
Well, I just haven't performed. Everyone else is performing currently, so
Okay.
I got to hit some mics and I got some stuff I want to work on. So I don't want to be, I was willing to host it to be like, because that's the least pressure point to me is just going up and kind of doing some chit chat and then introducing people. But I'm also down to.
if you
do
feel
a
more
set.
comfortable hosting it, you could do that.
No, I have confidence in my abilities to put together a little set, but I didn't want to take a spot from, like, if Christian would rather do a spot, and then I'd be like, well, I'll host it and have it. It doesn't matter.
Well, I don't think it matters. I think you're gonna crush it. But if you personally would rather host it, that doesn't matter.
This is the warm up show to us anyway.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
He hasn't been to one of ours. 2 hits so far. We'll put together just as good.
Hey, we'll
a
talk
thing
about
as
that show when it's ready.
But I want to get
Yeah,
just let
January-
people know it's coming again.
It will come again.
Because I'm
Yeah.
selling those will be $20 tickets, and I have a number that I'm hitting.
excited. Yeah.
I'm very excited.
So we got good things coming up. But for this alibi show, January 5th, 8:00. It's me, Ryan Brook. It's gonna be Neil Rubenstein.
I'll be in the building.
Chick's gonna be in the building. Maybe Chick will do a
Dennis
guest
Rooney,
spot. We'll see.
Meg Toohey,
We have Mike Toohey. We have Dennis Rooney.
Lauren Festa.
We have Lauren Festa, and we got Matt Wayne
Yeah.
and Christian Hahn hosting or
Hahn,
doing a
yeah.
spot, whatever we figure out.
Yeah.
We're not set on
I'm
anything.
excited.
Yeah,
yeah,
man,
it's
I
it's
posted
just
on my
a killer
stories. I got a couple people like, "What a lineup!" People
Yeah.
are like, "Wow."
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's excited about that. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, people are gonna leave that show feeling like they got their money's worth.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel.
That's why. Okay, yeah.
I
agree.
know, but that's why. You know what? The way I look at it, they're also drinks can tend to be expensive at that place.
But that's people know what they're
I
getting into. They're going
I
out
know,
for a night.
but I
you
There's
have
no
to
drink
pay.
minimum, right? There's no 2 drink minimum.
there
Is
is
it?
I don't know.
You don't need to have a minimum. Probably, most likely, I feel like.
Yeah,
people
I
are
don't
gonna
think we've
fucking-
ever had a minimum. It's like people are gonna buy drinks.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fine.
It's a bar.
Yeah, it's a bar. There's gonna be enough
Half
people
people
there.
aren't going to be able to sit anyway, so you're going to have to just stand by the bar and buy drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm sure we'll talk about that more throughout the week. But
So I
but
just
yeah.
got these socks.
Yeah,
in
let's
the
talk
mail.
about these socks.
My feet. I have terrible circulation. In my feet. My feet are always cold.
Do you get? Do they fall asleep a lot?
Not really. No.
Okay.
But I have big feet, and I feel like it takes a lot for the blood to get all the way to the
Is that
toes.
what
I
you
mean, are
think
they
would
that
happen?
big where you feel like they can't get to your toes? When you make a comment like that, I would think you have these monstrosity fucking feet.
The blood is like these toes have been this too long.
Yeah.
So what do we got here?
What do we got? What? It's just they're socks that have a little battery
It
pack
has
on
an
the
ankle
side.
bracelet on
You
them.
plug it in, and then you can control it on your phone how hot you want them.
Oh wow!
But I wanted them to be like hot. Like I wanted to feel like oh, like I wanted to be like, oh, I gotta turn these down. These are too hot.
Yeah.
And like I can feel my feet are warm in them, but it's not the
Do
heat
your
I
feet
want.
sweat?
I've literally put these on an hour ago.
But I mean, in general,
No,
do you want your
no,
feet to sweat?
No.
Who wants
See,
to?
my
I don't
no,
want my feet
my
to sweat.
my
What do you got?
issue is if I had socks on, I would with a heater. It would be too warm. I like to have socks that keep my toes warm, but I don't want it too hot. I like my feet to be a little cold.
Even when you're outside watching TV, you wouldn't want a little
He-
heat on your socks.
We were talking this on the way here. The guy
I had a big
lives
move
in
in
the
my.
North Pole.
I had a big move. I am no longer. I used to be in my car a lot, smoking and watching TV because that's where I have to go. But now I talk to the roomies, and I was like, I'm going in the garage. Like I don't.
Well,
wanna
your
sit in
mother
the-
was sick of
My
watching
mother
you
hates me in the car, just like she just thinks it's ridiculous. I don't want to be in there. It's like the only reason why I'm there is because I can't smoke in the house and it's too cold to be outside. So I'm like, I'm going in the garage because I didn't want to stink up the garage either. But we've come to an agreement where I can go in the garage. So now I have a setup in there.
What's in the garage now? Like, what is this?
It's a normal garage where it's like a workbench, but it's big that
It
can
always
fit a
interests
car.
me, like people's approach to a garage. When people buy a house and they get a garage, like, okay, what am I going to do?
So we have a
with this
shed
garage?
with the pool stuff. The garage has all sports stuff because we have a lot of, There's a couple bikes, there's bats.
Yeah.
You know,
There's a workbench in there. There's
not even like it's a work. Yeah, it's like
Table.
a, you know, lead table thing there, and you know, his tools and all that. And then we have an attic that has all the Christmas stuff and other like
In the
storage in the garage.
Right.
Also,
So-
another place where we used to record the podcast.
Yeah,
Really?
we recorded the podcast because it's big enough. Like it's opens for a car, so they every once in a while they put the car in there, so everything's along the wall, so it's you know it's open.
yeah.
So now I'm moving in there. I'm gonna bring the TV in there, like
Okay.
and just
And what are you gonna sit on?
like a lawn chair. I'm actually in the process of trying to figure out. I might get a chair that's better for that, but right now
I can
it's
lend for
lawn
the
chair.
for the off season. Like I have a chair I can lend you for that. It's a
Oh.
zero gravity chair.
Oh, I love a
So
zero.
it's
What's
like
a zero
It's
gravity
just a
chair?
recline. It's a
great.
you know it's a lawn chair, but it's like a nice one, and you can like lay flat. Like
But it takes like it hits all the pressure points or something, right?
yeah, it's
That's
just
what
like
I hate about the
like
lawn chair. I don't have a great back.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're gonna love a
Oh, you
zero
got to be able to
gravity.
recline. You want a recliner. It's just
I want
it's
exactly.
a
So I
chair
just
that
set up a
yeah.
little table where right now, because last night was the first night, so I didn't have the TV in there. I was watching on my iPad, which I have, but I have my ashtrays and all that. Yeah, I'm set up good there now.
Yeah,
It's still a little cool in there, so I have an electric heater.
yeah.
But
Well,
I
this is
do
how he-
like.
This is how he dies.
I don't want my feet. I'm gonna burn my death is ultimately gonna be I'll either burn myself with like like some sort of electric fire
Yeah.
or cigarette fire is gonna kill me. Whatever.
You're gonna spontaneously
We
combust.
I said, every time I go to the doctor, it's always usually pretty good. I said, one day my lungs are just gonna like pop.
Well, it's nuts, Ryan, because driving in the car with him, like even in the winter, like the windows are down,
Mm-hmm.
it's freezing, and it's nonstop smoke, like between joints and cigarettes. It's
Yeah.
the lungs are getting like destroyed. It's crazy.
You're just thinking about it. He's got a cough.
Like this is all for smoking.
So my
you know?
whole issue
yeah,
is,
right. He could just be in his bed, just
Yeah.
enjoying
yeah, this is
enjoying
all
his
because
time.
it's true when you think
You've-
about it. It's
This is all
all
it is.
It's also I could smoke and watch. Because my
Reconstructed your
favorite thing
life.
to do is relax, watch
You kidding me?
watch something, and then but smoke while I'm doing it. So it's
Right.
just like it really is my favorite thing to do. So that's how I
But my thought was like, all right, I get, you like to smoke, but like
everybody says it's smoke and go inside.
smoke and then
So here's my issue, and the only reason why I stay in one spot, because I smoke enough that I don't want to go in and out the whole night, and then I'd have to go from iPad to TV, iPad to like. What's the point
it's
of?
amazing.
It's just annoying.
They smoke from iPad to TV to iPad to TV.
Like I'd constantly be going. Like
Yeah, no. I would just think maybe I should give up smoking.
I agree with you.
He's-
Like,
he's-
listen,
he's already-
or maybe you should stop being a bum and get your own place so you could smoke in your own place. and
Well,
watch
let's not
TV.
go too far, Chick.
But either way, you're right.
I would rather you stop smoking and stay with your parents
Yeah.
or your roommates.
Fair enough. I do want to quit cigarettes. If I quit cigarettes, weed, yeah, I could go out, smoke weed, and come
You don't
back in.
smoke so much weed that you couldn't.
Yeah,
bounce
that I
back and
couldn't
forth.
go in
It's-
and out.
It's the combination.
It's the
of-
combination where it would be too much. So that
and where's
being
the
said,
TV coming from? Outside when it was.
Well,
in the
we
back?
haven't out. We had a TV that we used to have in my backyard anyway, under the awning. But in the
Yeah.
winter, we move it in.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of why. Like I would be outside until I ultimately it was too cold to be out there for 4 hours, like where you can't sit out there.
Mm-hmm.
But once my parents wrap up the stuff, I have to go to the car or my room, which is only good when they're away. I could smoke in the house when they're away
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
because they don't smell it. Like the smell doesn't linger. You
Does
you
it
smoke.
sit
Yeah,
in
it
the
doesn't
house?
sit. No.
So they go. Don't they go to Florida for? a lot
Yeah,
of
they
the
go to
summer?
Florida. So for most of the winter, I'm really good. But there's they come home. It's their house. So there's times where I have to adjust.
Yeah.
So why won't your mom? She can't smell it though.
The problem is when you're smoking, yes, the house will smell.
Oh, while it's
It will.
happening.
Like she could smell everything. So there's no way I could do it while they're home. I mean, the whole thing is
I don't know. Like
adult babies.
my aunt and uncle, they smoke constantly in the house, and like I can't even. I have to get dressed. I have to put on like different clothes if I'm going to their
Yeah,
house.
I get it exactly.
Because if my clothes are going to smell like smoke, and then I have to come home and take those clothes off and put them right in the
The
wash.
one thing is, it is only in my room, but vents and stuff like the smell would be a little bit, but it dissipates.
Yeah.
And the house doesn't smell because it's only in that room. And I even try and keep it windows open. Like I'm not just like freelancing.
I have two pet peeves right now that are really battling with each other. One of them is people who are smoke in places that people don't have the option to not walk through. Like a lot of times at work, like I'll be working in a place, and I'm like I'm got to go inside this door. It's the only place I have to park here and walk through this door. And you're gonna stand right next to this door and smoke. It's like I have to come through here. You can walk down there and smoke down there. It's like, but you're not giving me the option to not smell your smoke. And I almost want to just like go sit in the truck and wait for them to stop smoking because I'm that annoying non-smoker who's always like the slightest smell of smoke, and I'm just like.
I also
I
think this is
overreact.
also a world where you have to, as we also are as smokers, we're like fucking
Second-class
lepers.
citizens.
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, they got to be a place for us to smoke too. But I get it. What was the second?
Yeah, but there
one?
is a place. Like I'm telling, it's never like.
But they're never convenient. So in like a football game, right?
I don't care. Can you go walk? Take
What,
15
but
minutes?
I do. But that's my
Yeah,
point.
but you're choosing to smoke. I'm not. You're inconveniencing me. I'm not a smoker. And I have to walk past you. I'm not. Nobody has to smoke. I have to walk through here.
Yeah, but that's not doing anything to you, really. The second
I
hand.
don't like. I don't like. It gives me a headache.
It
to
is a
smell-
gross smell.
It gives me like a headache to smell.
I just
People
feel like
that-
there's a lot of things that, like, I'm outside though. It's like,
But it sticks. It sticks.
I get it. But either way, I want to know what the other pet peeve was.
So in general, I hate when people tell me something I already know or something that like.
What did I say though?
Nothing. No. Just, but specifically, this I've been getting this a lot lately. I get to like an intersection, and like it's like my turn to go. Like it'll be a 4-way stop, and like the person comes up, and like I got to the stop sign first, and the person waves me on. I want to get out of the car. I want to ring them. I want to choke them because
Wait. Say that.
it's like it's my turn to go, and
And
they wave me on. I want to drive straight into that car.
Yeah.
because I want to get. I'm like, you
Because,
don't
like, I
fucking
know.
think I know
Yeah,
to go?
you're
Like,
right.
yeah, it's my
That's it.
turn to go. Like, you're gonna give me the permission to go? Like, I was going already. It's my
People
choice
just
to
think
go.
they just want to act like they're
Yeah.
the nice people.
It's like you're
letting
gonna,
you go.
and like I know they're like in a rush, and I know it's just like they're trying to eliminate the pause.
Yep.
But it's like
No,
give
it is
it a
frustrating.
second. Like I like
You know what, saying? You don't have to do the pause if you follow the rules of the road. If I'm on the right hand, if I'm to the right of you, I go first.
and that's what annoys me. And I know the rules. First, whoever got to the stop sign first, like I got to the stop sign first. There was no, or it's like even if it's like one of those 4-way stop signs where it's busy and they're just like we're just alternating times.
Yeah.
and it's like okay, you go, and then this guy's going to you go. Yeah, I know I go.
You know what's bothering me on the road? This is a new thing I've in the last year that's been happening. The blinker is not enough anymore. Now people roll down their windows and they go. They do like this. They point that they're going here. It's like
I don't see
dude,
that.
Oh, it's on I-95 in Connecticut. That's where I am.
Really?
Most
So
of
they're
the-
putting on the blinker, and then they're
if they're trying to get in,
Because there's
dude,
a proper way to signal with your hands. If
yeah.
your
That's if
blinker's
you don't
out.
have a blinker. Yeah.
yes, but the blinker is there, and I'm getting. There's always a hand coming out. I'm like, I see you. I'm gonna let you in.
Yeah.
Oh, it bothers me so
What about
much.
today? What happened to me? I hate
Well,
people.
you get a little too much.
You'll agree with me. I'm in a turning lane at a light. I have the green light to make my turn. The car is coming out of a hotel parking lot. Instead of waiting for the thing to go, they're creeping out. They want to try, whatever. But they're blocking the whole turning lane.
Yeah.
Just stopped
Yeah.
trying to make the left.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That-
okay?
That's just a bad.
No, you can't.
area.
You can't.
Okay.
You can't ever block a lane. If you
can't block a lane.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm not even that mad at this person because they were about to go. So then they make the turn. The other car that's still waiting behind them now speeds in front of me, like just to
Yeah.
try and whatever.
Yeah. Piggyback there.
That, and I hate honking. I don't like when people honk. But
Yeah.
now that person, I wanted to honk because I want him to look at me as I tell him to go fuck off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. He screamed at them.
I'm not a big
But
honker.
my
I'm not a
only
big honker.
thing
But that was like, to me, that bothers me.
My only thing with that,
And
though,
he's saying, I'll go B. I was wrong on that. That's why I tell
I'm not
everybody.
saying you were wrong.
Whenever you hear him talk about my driving, I promise you it's exaggerated.
I'm not saying he was wrong. All I'm saying is, if you were in that position as that guy, you're probably doing the same.
No,
move.
now if I was
Yes,
that
you will.
the first car,
I've seen you do stuff that I'm like, I
where
can't believe you're doing.
no way, no way I would have.
we're all hypocrites on the road,
Of
though.
course.
What the first lady did, guilty. What that guy did, no, I'd never do that.
We all get mad at somebody doing something that we've done. Or
That's
That's
yeah,
it.
I get
That's
it.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but now
What I
I'm
don't
in the
like-
Every
garage.
single one of us.
You know what I don't like is, and this, I don't want to get to like this whole like conversation about things we had on the road.
You know what I don't like?
It's a little, it's a little
Nitpicky or
civilian.
civilian.
But yeah, but if there's a a light, and it's green, but everything is it's all like backed up, and I always leave room. I don't block an intersection. I always make sure I leave room.
Oh yeah.
So, but there'll be somebody coming from the right. They want to make a right on red, and like they make a right on red because there's space there. But like the reason there's space there is because I've left space because I'm clearing the. It's like it's not your. That's my spot. Like now you're in my spot. Now I can't go when I'm supposed. I
got what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like
Very
like you've made a right now. Now you've taken. Now you're blocking this intersection. Like I would have been there. Like if there's a car there, it should be my car. But and it's my decision to leave that space open. And until your light is turned, like there's a line of cars waiting to be where you want to be.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you have to wait.
We've all earned the right to have these opinions because we drive so much. If you don't drive a lot of this shit you probably don't see it. Like people are like, oh, that doesn't happen to me. I'm like, well, do you drive for a living?
Yeah.
Right.
Because you're not in your car that much. And you're going from like quick point A's to point B's. When you're out in the fucking whole island going, you see all types of craziness.
I always wonder, like, I think I have to be in the 90 percentile of hours on the road because my job is driving. And I drive a lot just in my personal life. I'll go wherever.
So
I drive into the city a lot. I Ubered a ton for years. I used to deliver. My first job was delivering pizzas, or my second job was delivering pizzas. Like over my lifespan, I've driven so much.
I'm probably in that same category, minus the considering I don't drive like Uber and all that stuff. Like I used to drive. I mean, all I did was drive my friends around everywhere.
Yeah, me too. I was
like,
designated driver.
The only difference, I wasn't smart enough to fucking do it for Uber.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you put all the time you sat in your car watching that Netflix and
Time
smoke,
in my car,
I mean,
I
Jesus.
crush anybody in the world. I'll put myself right at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put like I gotta imagine Neil is like has put up some serious.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got some real numbers.
Neil's got some numbers.
Yeah, just
Neil's
literally
definitely
driving.
got some numbers.
I'm like he's driven the
He's
country.
in a car right now driving.
So there are some people who are literally only in the car. Like,
Yeah,
so I
and
get
then
it.
you talk about like cross country drivers
Yeah.
are just back and forth in the country.
Yeah.
Like they got to be at the top. But I feel like I put myself probably in the 90%.
For a civilian who lives in one place, I'm in my car more than anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Who's like
a lot of time.
unnecessarily, who doesn't need to be in his car.
And there's a lot of people who do what I do for a living, so they put up the same numbers at work that I do. But I feel like I also do a lot of driving
Once you
outside
leave,
of
you're
work.
still
I feel
in
like
it.
they not really do a lot of that.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to be in the garage. I feel like a better person.
Well, I'm glad you're in the garage.
The one thing is, I used to
That is
always
a-
know what
I
was
have-
going on in my block. Like, because I was
you
literally.
live in a cul-de-sac. What do you?
But I mean, I don't mean like you need to know, but I'm saying like nothing. Like I feel like I almost like policing the block almost.
Your neighborhood watch?
You know when you have like a security guard who sits in a parking lot?
Yeah.
That was more or less. I mean, I wasn't the most observant at this point. I was high as a fucking kite.
Well, if you're
fucking-
counting non-driving time in a car,
Oh,
you're ahead of
He's not
everybody.
He
even
beats
close.
most
It's not even close.
Have you seen any
Gas
suspicious?
used while not driving, I
Yeah.
crush it.
Have you seen any suspicious activities in the neighborhood while you're sitting in the car?
No, that's my whole point.
Oh.
Is I feel like I've seen things like my neighbors are just doing things, but I've never caught anything happen.
Yeah.
There's been numerous
guess that's
times
good.
where cops have pulled in because my neighbor always has issues. Like,
Oh, you gotta,
exciting.
you gotta.
and I always find it funny that I could still sit in my car and smoke weed while cops are handling whatever they're doing. I don't give a fuck. But
Oh my god! I was watching. Me and Monique were watching TV last night. You know that commercial about the insurance? It's like it'll have somebody driving like recklessly, and like you shouldn't have to pay for the insurance for this person. You know, you should.
Yeah.
And it's like the whole thing. Like they monitor your driving,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they charge you based on that. Monique said something very funny. She's like, "Well, what if I'm that?" She goes, "I am that other person. I'm that reckless driver." She's like, what insurance do I get? Because it's like there should be a commercial for that person. Like, but if you are this driver,
yeah, like
this is-
where's the best place for me to get insurance?
yeah, it's like if you're not a reckless driver, you shouldn't have to pay for the reckless driver. Okay, but I am the reckless driver. So what do I? What do I do? Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah. I was like, I was told, I'm like, you might see that on January 5th. I'm like, I
Yeah,
think that's a
that's-
bit. I think
that's
it
a
might be
good bit.
Yeah.
That is actually very funny.
What's
That's
the
true,
worst
though.
insurance out there?
Lighthouse.
Like,
I don't know.
I'll tell you what's fucking pretty good is actually I forget the name. Fuck.
thank you for the info.
My socks are heating up nice now.
Oh, they're getting hot.
Yeah. Let's see what
Well,
it
that
says.
was actually to my point.
What's your
So
setting?
I don't want them to necessarily be cold, but I don't like when it's hot to the point where they sweat.
It says they're 134 degrees.
There's no way.
That's absurd to me.
Yeah, but
There's
they're
no
also,
way.
But the battery is down. Yeah, that's what it says. But they don't. They're not. They don't feel that.
Are they
at all.
comfortable with the battery at your ankle?
It's
Like,
not
is the
ideal.
ankle battery worth the heat?
It's not ideal. I'll probably only wear these home. I don't think I'll wear these out. Because like the other day, yesterday I was sitting here, and my feet were so cold. I have like those feet warmers. I just like stuck into my feet. Like, I was just sitting here with feet. warmer.
I don't want like
those get real hot.
I feel like
Yeah,
I
they
still
do.
haven't really answered, but like outside, because no, I
So
go back.
I'm still
Like,
not satisfied with.
I want them on. Like I don't want them to just be out there freezing, but I don't want them to be hot to the point where they're sweating.
yeah,
I
well,
just
you
need
can
them.
you can make them anywhere from 104 to 140 degrees.
But 104 is hot.
104. That's just slightly over body heat, though.
Yeah, we're 98.
But once I'm over body heat, I feel like I'm gonna sweat. That's
No.
what I.
What do you deal with
'cause you're gonna be-
sweating? Do you
'cause-
have a sweating problem?
I sweat enough. Like I
But
don't
you're
need
gonna
my
be-
feet to be sweating.
You're going to be combating 20-degree weather, so it's not going to feel like.
Well,
that.
that's what I'm saying. It might
Yeah.
work out.
It will work out.
you wanna-
Also, what kind of socks do you have?
These ones are super thin.
You got to get merino wool, my
These
friend.
aren't my outside socks. I just wore them.
What
to-
are your outside socks?
I
What-
have fucking like wool, like
you,
fucking.
you got nice wool socks?
Oh yeah, and then I have like slipper things that I put on over them, and I'll usually put those over these.
Okay.
These were pretty warm when I first put them on. Before I turned them on, they were. I'm like, oh, these. Are
They
pretty
were-
warm.
they were like a
Now, what do you
warm
get? You
sock.
got.
Do you
wool-
wear them at work though?
I just got these.
Would you wear them at work?
No, I don't think so.
Like, do your
Well,
feet
first of all,
ever-
the battery's already down to 50%, and I got them an
Oh,
hour
so
ago,
how long does the battery last on?
I don't know.
He's only had them on for 2 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not good.
That's not a good sign at all.
No.
Now, do
don't
you
like
need a
that.
battery for each foot? So do you have two batteries?
That's a good question.
What do you think? It's wired to? Yeah,
I don't know if it's Bluetooth or what.
No, yeah, there's a battery. You know, it plugs in here, little guy, and then
I gotta
charge
say,
it to
man,
there.
But I'm saying each sock has that.
You're not into it? Yeah.
That just, it's too much. Like,
it's too much battery.
it's too much battery.
And not a
know,
lot
this
of
is good.
power. You really got a lot of equipment.
For not, yeah, this might have been a mistake. Well, I'm glad I went with the cheap ones. These were only
Did you
$35.
buy- you
There
bought those candles too,
it was
right?
$90 ones, yeah. Yeah, I haven't
the
gotten
candles
them yet.
come?
No, because I bought them from Instagram, and they're still in China somewhere.
Oh, that's right. You
And I
didn't
don't
buy
know
off
why. I don't know
Amazon.
why I did that. Because today I'm like, I was looking for where they were, and like they still haven't even like
Could you
they've
cancel
shipped.
it?
I don't know, but I'm like, why didn't I just go to Amazon? Like, and I went to Amazon. They had the exact same thing
Yeah,
I bought
I
on
was
Amazon.
thinking, I don't know
and why
why
did I
you
buy them
didn't
from
either.
some?
Yeah.
Because you wanted to fuck
Bootleg
yourself.
place.
You wanted to take a while.
No, because I just
and
saw them. I got excited. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then I bought them. And then I'm waiting on two things now that I have. Both things I ordered from Instagram haven't shown up.
From
and they're
Instagram.
both available on Amazon. That
I
just
ordered
bought.
one Wu-Tang sweatshirt off of an Instagram thing once, and I was like, never again.
Yeah.
It was so cool on the page, and when I
know.
got it, I
didn't-
was like, fucking shoot me in the face.
I've never seen it, so I know that.
That's extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot me in the face.
So I was talking about my B doesn't want me to talk about it too much, but briefly, I knocked out my PAL basketball draft for my third and fourth graders. So I'm gonna have a championship team this year. So
Talking about
get
kids,
ready.
you about kids here?
Yeah,
Here he is again, talking about kids. Yeah, no, we can't wait to hear about it.
yeah. I just want.
I just feel bad for the kids.
They love me.
Yeah, no, not for your kids, but just to like rank kids and
They
I
weren't
know.
ranked though. I will say.
What were they?
I think they will be getting ranked, but they weren't ranked yet. But the only reason is they do it good intention because they don't want a team to be great and all these. So they do it so each team supposedly has kids.
yeah,
that
but
are-
one of those kids is the loser who is.
they don't know it. The kids don't know it.
They know it.
Well,
Somebody-
they know. Yeah, but you know
They
you're
know
not
it
good anyway. That's
some
just a life thing. You're gonna, self-awareness.
Yeah.
But it's not like they know where they're ranked. So they
So
don't.
you pick the kids.
Yeah, and
there's
it's
like an actual draft.
draft. I go with the other coaches, and we went out for drinks. After.
How do you know these kids though? By name, you know them?
Some of them, a lot of kids you're drafting that you don't know, but a lot of them, once you're around, you got your kids' friends and
Rumors
I was
start.
gonna say, can you ask your nephews like, all right,
yeah,
who should
yeah,
I
yeah,
who's good?
I could ask them who's good, but I also now I've coached baseball, I've coached, so I'm starting to learn.
He knows. He knows who's
Who's
good.
the athlete?
You know the athletes in the grade, and then the rest, you're taking a shot with. But it's funny. So for the third graders, my nephew's in fourth grade, so I know his grade, but I don't really know anybody younger than him. So my buddy's son is in third grade. I saw his name on there, so I sent him a text with a picture of all the names. I said, "Who's good?" And he fucking got back to me.
Oh my god.
And I got the best third grader in the thing. Kid is awesome. I can't wait for this year. You got to tell you,
Is that-
listen,
is that
everybody else
legal?
is doing it. You got to do it, or else you're going to
Yeah,
be.
listen, you got to do it. I'm gonna show up to a game, like I said. I'll show up to a game, and I'll watch you coach.
Oh, it's fun.
Basketball would be easier. Where do you guys play?
Northside.
Oh,
Right
beautiful.
by you.
I'll be there.
He's literally down the block from him.
I'm going to go to a lot of these
I have
games
practice tomorrow night if you want to come.
Yeah, I want to go. Not to a practice, but a game.
What time is practice?
Tomorrow, I believe, is 6:30.
Possible. It's possible I show up for practice tomorrow.
Practice, it'll be more fun to watch me because now I'm running, like me and my coach are
Right.
running the practice.
Right.
Can I shoot a basket?
I'll let you do it. I'll help you. You can help us with the practice. I'll be like, oh, my buddy's here to help. Just don't
And where
embarrass
this
yourself.
this is a gym in a school?
Yeah, it's a regular gym. Looks, it's, I love it.
Yeah.
Fun. Normal sizes, though. We're not in the small rim.
Is this
We're
your
above
first?
that.
No, you've already had a practice.
This is our second practice. That's why I'm saying I had the team already.
That's what I
We're
should
gonna
do. I
win the
should show up with
championship.
my camera gear one night and one section of the gym.
We're gonna do that.
can
We
a
talked
photo
about
shoot.
this, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we did. But
We're gonna-
I,
you're
like
gonna
I
have
could
to
just
do
do it
this.
during. I could show up during practice. And we can just rotate the kids through. Like and like, all right, you're on. You're up for your photo, and you show up with kids with like.
Dude,
They'll
the
have like
parents would probably love that.
they have like photos of their kids, and you show up. You can put like a poster together. Be
Yeah.
like, we're coming to get you. And you go, these like,
Have them run through it every week. We'll get a new one printed.
Listen, tomorrow night we show up there, and then we got the open mic at 9:00.
yeah, I need that mic.
I need the mics too because I'm already starting to get nervous about our show because I want to be much better than I was last year.
Well, you're gonna be. I'm
I
sure.
want.
But I need to. But I
was in
want
the
to start
city
earlier.
Wednesday. I wanted to do the stand, laughing Buddha mic, but
Didn't do it.
ran out of time.
I'm excited about that.
Picked dinner over that. Honestly, is what happened. Yeah,
What'd you do?
I picked going to dinner over going to the open mic. Yeah.
Where you going? to
Dinner's
dinner?
much better than
It
an
was
open.
last week. That place I went to, the Smith.
Oh, okay.
and it was oh my god. If you're
What
ever
do
in
you
the
get?
Flatiron District, I got gnocchi at that place, but it was like a mushroom and
Mushrooms are a veggie that's been growing on me.
it's so good.
Every
Mushroom
year I
ramen.
like them more and more, and I'm just a huge
I don't
mushroom
like
guy.
And then what was the cheese? It was like a
Cheddar.
no, not
Stuffed mushrooms, I could eat them like popcorn.
gorgonzola maybe. It was
I don't
That's
like
usually
gorgonzola
a gorgonzola. I feel like on a mushroom.
and with gnocchi, but like crisped up gnocchi.
Yeah.
It was the best gnocchi I've ever had in my life.
great.
And I'm a
Gnocchi's
big,
like a what is it? Like a stuffed, like a noodle almost.
It's not stuffed. It's a potato pasta. It's
Oh, it is potato. I thought they were
yeah.
like they could stuff them with anything.
No, it's not stuffed. It's just
Okay.
little.
No, I know. Yeah, no, I knew
little
what it was. I wasn't.
Cubes of
Yep.
yeah, so good.
I haven't had a lot of it, but I do
It's
enjoy
good.
it.
Yeah, I've had some. So that's the main course.
That was my main
You
course.
do an
And then
appetizer.
I did an appetizer, which was God, what was the appetizer? Like a risotto meatball, maybe.
You're
Something like
definitely a 3-course meal guy when
course
you go
he
out
is.
to eat.
Look
that. Yeah, and I got.
'Cause you're a
I got
dessert guy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, most people are 2. I'm saying 3 because he loves his dessert. I know he's not.
Yeah, but if you
walking
go
out of
into a
there.
nice place, I think you got to do the full. We'll do an appetizer.
That's not
do
true.
an
Not if you
entree.
get a ton of appetizers and food. Not
Well-
everybody does dessert.
Not everybody does dessert, but if you're at a nice place like that, it's almost like all right.
But sometimes at a nice place like that, you eat so much with the first 2. It's like I can't even.
Well, there's pretty small portions across the
All
board.
right, fair
because,
enough.
Yeah, it was like
I just think of like a steakhouse. I'm not eating that and then getting dessert.
I know,
So-
but it's also a night out.
I'm not. Yeah, but I mean, I'm
We're
just talking
spending
about
a little
for
money
actually.
tonight.
It's not about the money.
I'm gonna make room.
Dessert to me is like if you already spent enough. Like dessert's nothing on top of the bill.
Of course.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, it
desserts
can
were-
be,
desserts were
but
incredible. And they had one of the desserts was just giant cookies, which is like just
Oh,
giant
yeah.
chocolate chip cookies, freshly baked,
Freshly baked.
chocolate chip cookies. That was incredible.
Hot.
Is that what you did?
I did that, and then we did. I got a terrible memory for this.
You really do.
It was
So
some
far,
type of bread pudding, like a
you're at a
I like the
restaurant,
bread
right?
pudding.
And you know whatever they make is going to be
with
amazing.
ice cream on top. Yeah.
What's your dessert? What's your day before death dessert? Like last fucking. This is it. Last meal, but a dessert.
Like that you can get at a restaurant because my mother's
Your
angel food
last
cake.
meal
My
of a
mother's
dessert.
angel food cake is my favorite. I could eat a
That's
whole.
my
I
mother's
could literally sit down
favorite.
and eat
That's
an
my
entire
favorite.
angel
Over
food
and that's
cake.
what I'm saying. If that's what it is, that's what it is.
I mean, ice cream over everything always.
So that's
like,
what I'm
I would just
asking.
like a bowl of ice cream.
Last
I
meal.
would just do just my favorite ice cream. But I don't know that angel food cake. Did you grow up eating angel food cake?
Yeah, and
But homemade though. Because
homemade. One year my mom didn't get it homemade, and I called her out. But
they're terrible. The difference between a homemade angel food cake and just a store bought.
it's night and day.
There's a sponge versus just an airy, fluffy, perfect little.
My buddy's mother makes pound cake, homemade, and she makes so like it's so good, and we all love it so much that like for my birthday,
back on food.
I'll get a piece. Like she'll make like it's the best if this year because I want you guys to try it, and I know you're gonna love it. You should probably love it too.
I will love it.
I love a pound cake.
He's just a
it's
dessert
It's
guy.
no angel food cake, but I do love a pound cake.
It's a
yeah.
crumb
I love
cake.
that
Did I
you
say
love
pound
angel-
cake or did I say crumb cake?
You said pound cake.
pound cake.
Crumb cake.
Oh, crumb
okay.
cake.
Love
It's-
a crumb cake.
It
I
is
love-
the
love a crumb
best
cake too.
It's the best cake I've ever eaten in
All
my
right.
life.
I'm
I
good.
mean,
Listen,
like
you bring it.
I love a good crumb cake or homemade crumb cake or all this. I am guilty of thinking that Entenmann's is the best crumb cake though.
That's why I want you to try this.
Intimates
Because
is
so
great.
am I.
I mean,
It's
I
just it's
promise
not
you
like
this is better.
Like I grew up thinking that's what crumb cake
Dude,
was.
the Banana
Yeah,
Crunch
so-
Entenmann's, which you never see anywhere, did
Yeah.
they discontinue that? The
well,
Banana
I don't
Crunch?
think I've ever had that.
The Banana Crunch, you know what I'm talking with this black
Yeah,
swirl on
yeah.
it,
Ooh.
was
that was-
probably my favorite, and I never see it, or else I would eat it. I mean, I could eat a whole cake of that.
And you're not really a desserts guy.
I'm not, and I love that. And the pound cake, the crumb cake, and like Entenmann's, you're right. To me, it's second to none. Her crumb cake is better than
Yeah.
Entenmann's.
I know, like I said, and I love like a deli crumb cake with a big thick crumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like theirs too, but then cheese is like it's soft. It's,
You like a raspberry inside?
Sure.
I like
no,
a raspberry.
I'm not a raspberry guy.
I wasn't talking
I like
to
a
you.
I like a crumb where the crumb is like cartoonishly big.
Yeah,
You could even call it an R crumb cake.
Oh,
You
yeah.
get it? R crumb is a cartoonist who made like he did like drawings that were like very
Oh my god.
exaggerated drawings of things.
That was
yeah.
that was good.
R crumb cake.
Good for you.
Cool Whip on the angel food cake.
I like Cool Whip.
Cool
Yeah.
Whip on the angel food cake. My
And
mother, my
strawberries.
mother for my birthday, she wouldn't like give me a gift. Like
What's
she wouldn't give
angel
me a gift.
cake? What is it? You said
It's just like it's a fluffy
That's
just cake.
That's my.
I'm thinking of red velvet.
Even
I
like
know.
even after we stopped having parties, like it's not even
I
like when I was
just
a
can't
kid.
even
You'd have
picture what it
parties.
looks like.
let us talk about it, and we'll figure it out together. I am shocked that I found another angel food cake brother because
Yeah.
for as long, I mean, I've talked about this. Like
What color is it?
White,
It's a white-
yellow. A very
looks like-
light.
it looks
Like,
like
we're
very
talking
white,
like
though.
yellow, white, like
No, most like white.
It's the whitest cake
It's really
you'll find.
it's really white. Yeah. I mean, if you put it against something like a piece of paper, it would be like there's a
is
white.
it creamy? Like what is it?
It's just
It's like an airy sponge. Like
it's
it's
like
not
a sponge
it's not a
cake.
sponge
It's
cake
like
because a
if
sponge cake
this
is firm.
was
It's
white.
not firm. It's like wobbly almost. It's like
It's like a
soft.
jello, but
No.
like sponge.
No, it's a cake.
we're not going to be able. He doesn't
It's
take in
yeah.
information.
Well, I'm gonna. You know what? So if you look at my Amazon search, the last search is angel food cake pan. Because I was thinking, I was talking about Monique. I'm like, I need to learn how to make this because
and you got to hang it upside down, I believe.
you got to hang it up, which is why it's a special pan.
You gotta hang the cake upside
Yeah,
down.
like
After
a
you
bat.
bake it, because it's got to get airy, so it's got to hang up so that when it settles, you don't want it to collapse, so
Yeah.
it has to settle upside down.
I'm looking at images. of
So
angel
the
food
pan
cake.
comes with a thing to stick it. My mother uses a ketchup bottle. Did your mother use a ketchup bottle?
I don't know what she used. She used something, but it was for as long as I remember. Like I remember being a kid.
This
and
looks fantastic.
it's amazing.
I'm gonna try making one because I was in Target the other day and I saw the mix and it just said just add water and I said, has my mother just been adding water all these years?
I just
Is she
don't
buying-
want all this
Is she
fruit
buying
on it.
box
Let
cake
me
and just
see.
adding
What
water?
fruit you got?
This has got strawberries,
I like the strawberry, but not that many strawberries.
berries.
Mine is.
What do you like? What do you like on it?
I just like the whipped cream
Yeah.
and just a couple of strawberries mixed in.
I want it
not
just like
overwhelming.
that. I want to try it like this with maybe whipped
That I-
cream, but nothing else on it.
I
Whipped
could
cream
eat
would
it
be
just
the
like
only
that.
thing.
I can do just like that, but
Now, this is why I said yellow,
douse it
because
in
when you
Cool
guys
Whip.
said white, I know what you meant by a white cake, and to me that's yellow.
So the
No,
the
no.
outside is yellow, 'cause
Brownish
it's cooked,
yellow, yeah.
but then the inside is white. Yeah,
The inside is very white.
It looks like pound cake.
and if you buy it from the store, it's akin to a pound cake because it's too firm, which is why I only eat homemade.
So, but
Angel
so
food
what you're
cake.
saying is it's not like thick. It's like real light and like fluffy.
You're gonna find out. How about this? I'm gonna make
can't
one.
wait.
I'm gonna sit down with my mother. We're gonna make an
I
angel
can't
food
wait.
cake.
I can't
And if
wait.
I find out she's just adding water to a box all this time, I'm gonna be furious.
Me too, because
You hear the story about Prince when Prince was looking for the cake?
No.
Like, so he wanted the cake his mother made, and he hired these chefs, so like these, to make these cakes, and they would make a cake, and they're like, no, it's not like that. It was like a strawberry something to it, and they went on and on trying to make this cake. So finally, they just went out and bought a box cake, and they made it. And he goes, "That's the one. That's the one."
Really?
Yeah. And they didn't tell him it was a box cake. And they just made the cake. And they started to him. He was like, "That's the cake. That's the one. That's exactly what my mother used to
Mother
make."
was
She goes,
giving
"My
a box
my
cake."
mother-" Which also, by the way, box cakes are incredible. Like
Yeah, yeah.
people are like, "Oh, it's a box cake." Yeah, they're fucking perfect.
They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're great.
I'm not a big cake person. Like, I don't like icing is too sugary for me.
Yeah.
So what I like, my mother does it. Like, chocolate pudding. Like, she'll make like a pudding icing.
Yeah.
Ooh, that
The
sounds
chocolate
nice.
better than chocolate icing, and instead of vanilla icing, we do whipped cream.
Yeah.
So much better.
I love whipped cream.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I love.
Imagine icing a cake with just whipped cream. Fantastic. So much better. We just did it for my sister-in-law's birthday.
Yeah.
Man, if I could taste desserts right now, I would go out and get a cake.
You still
after
having
this.
issues with the taste? How's the cancer going?
Well, I'll tell you, I have a new issue.
Uh-oh.
My eyes.
Oh, God.
I think my tear ducts are shut. As with the, you Google stuff, and this is what it's telling me.
Yeah. You
The last
you got
2 days-
eyeliner on
Get off
tonight, by the
Google.
way?
Duck, duck,
What?
go.
You got any eyeliner on tonight?
No, well, yeah. What do you mean?
Not eyeliner.
Yes, he does. He's got it on every day.
Is that every day you putting it on now?
Well, I'll tell you, the hair. I'm losing hair by the bundle.
Are you really?
Yeah,
What's gone?
my
You
body,
lost your pubes?
my pubes are. Went
Do you
down the
like
drain.
it?
No, I don't like it.
That's a good thing.
That's what I was just going to say. I would wish I
No. You know what
lost
it is?
my
All right,
pubes.
I'll tell you. This is what's going on.
It's
So-
just clumpy on there.
No. Well, it's sort of.
Hey, I don't want clumpy. I want
You want
gone.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's
gone.
but I'm not very hairy in the like my arms, legs, and the belly and chest.
Take your
Yeah.
hat off.
But it's not. Well, I've been bald, so it doesn't.
Oh, that's true. You're always bald.
Take your hat off. He finds the one place I've always been bald. um, so what I'm noticing now, I think I've told you this. Sometimes in the shower, I'll lay down. I lay down in the
shower?
Yeah, I lay down in the shower.
That's so weird.
So you have a tub,
I have a tub.
but you and
I lay
so you
down.
lay in the tub as if
I
you're
lay
taking
down
a bath. And you
like
just let
this, and I let it hit me.
Yeah.
And then I'll do like these stretches like
Yeah.
that.
All right, that kind of makes sense. You stretch.
Yeah.
I put my legs up and I just let it hit me. Throw a little soap and stuff. in it.
Imagine that fucking
Visual?
picture.
No.
The view isn't great.
I tried taking a bath a couple of years ago, and I'm like,
gross.
"This is adult, like an adult male in the bath is not a. That's not.
it's
I feel
terrible.
so silly, just sitting like just all naked.
Put a little,
Yeah.
salt, just-
put a little
no.
bath bomb in
I
there
won't
with
say
you.
his name. He knows if he's listening. You may know who it is. Used to eat in
Oh,
the
yeah.
bath and watch TV.
Yeah.
Love bathing, like baths so much.
Yeah,
that
I
they're-
mean,
I'm talking about.
I know women who do that, but to me, like,
I'm talking about like me in the car watching and doing like he's doing that, but it's in a bath.
I'm
like
just
a
too
little-
big. it takes up too much room. Like if it was like small women do it and it looks cute. Like they're
Eating in
bath.
a bath.
Yeah, well,
I've
yeah.
never eaten in a
Just like
bath.
watching.
I just feel
you know,
like
watching
eating is
stuff
not
and-
a clean thing, and I'm in a clean mode.
Well, I'm not eating. I don't think people are eating shepherd's pie in the bath. But it's like, maybe having a couple,
Shepherd's
a couple of Vienna fingers wouldn't go kill anybody.
Oh God.
Dropping a clump of mashed potatoes. Yep, get that. It's still good.
Can you
still
put some
good.
more gravy
I mean,
into the bath?
I cooked it in water. It's still fine.
Can make an angel food cake in there. Just add a little water.
Sitting there
It's
making
just,
meatballs.
I feel like I'm just too big. I just take up the whole bath. Like I feel like I put in just a little bit of water. I sit in, it just fills up. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like you can't fill up the tub. You just overflows.
I just don't like sitting in the I don't know. I'm not a big bath, but unless I'm like it's a sexy time with your girl and you're doing
Even
stuff in the
then, there's
bath.
no- there's-
That doesn't-
But I don't even
there's-
agree. No, you're right. I don't even agree. I'm not
Yeah.
like a shower sex person.
Shower
either.
sex is
I hate shower sex.
all just for
Unless you
the
have two
story of-
shower heads and it's like
even
never
then.
good.
Water is not good for
hot.
sex.
and
Yeah.
all that stuff is not good.
No.
There's two different liquid, like moisture.
pool's not bad.
Not good. No.
for anybody.
Pool could be fun.
no,
Pool
it
isn't
doesn't-
good either.
I need.
I'm not saying it's good, but pool could be fun.
I need traction.
I agree
what
with
it
you.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to get at it. You understand?
Yeah. Oh, we understand. All right. We get it.
If you're having comparable sex in a shower than you are in bed, you're having bad sex in bed.
Or you're just really good in the shower.
No.
Nobody's
impossible.
really good in the shower.
Unless you got, what are you wearing, like those water shoes? Like
Some
my God.
some showers, like I have small.
tiles?
Yeah, you're good. I'm not. I hate going
Yeah,
in the shower.
maybe.
My
you know
shower's
what?
small as can be, though.
I'm talking
so.
like a broke guy who's never had a big shower is my
Yeah.
problem, yeah. If you have like tile and you have a space.
That's what I'm saying. Some showers, it could be,
Maybe,
you're in those
yeah.
big stand showers.
Even
You got
still.
water coming on both sides. Like, all right.
It could be okay, but it's not better than outside of any of that.
Oh,
Definitely
nothing's better than like, you know what? A bed's the best. I mean, listen, you can have fun
It's
and
fun
do
to
it
mix
other
things up every
places.
once in
Yeah,
a while.
mix it
It's
up.
fine,
But there's
for
nothing
sure.
better than a big soft canvas
Yeah.
to work on.
Right, an artist must work
Yeah.
on a canvas.
So before we're like an hour and 15, but
Oh.
your tear ducts. I'm
Okay,
really want to
so-
get back to this.
Well, all right,
I didn't mean
I'll
to.
do it quickly. So when I do take a shower, I notice I'm like a lot like I'm like a seal. Like the water is just like flowing. That's how I notice I'm losing because I'm not very hairy, but like
Mm-hmm.
I see my stomach and my legs, and it's like
Beating off.
it's beads. I'm like, what is it? Like there's no hair.
The water to keep it from.
Yeah. So the last few nights, my eyes are getting teary, right? And like it started with the right eye. I'm like, I'm tearing all day. I'm like, I don't have allergies. I don't know
Is it
what's
tearing?
tearing. Yeah.
So then,
I'll tell you what happened. So tearing all day, and then I'm looking up like what's tearing, and they say it could be a block in a duct. You have a tear duct block. There's like a blockage, so it all tears out, and then the other eye, like my eyes probably look a little red.
They do
like,
actually. I
it's
was going to
weird.
say earlier, but
So what's happening now? I wake up the last 2 nights, and since I'm tearing uncontrollably, I'm crusting over. So, like, I wake up at night and I can't open my eyes because everything's crusted over my lashes here. So,
Yeah.
like, I wake up and I gotta put a washcloth and like
Oh, my
loosen it up and slowly pry my eyes open. Like
Yeah.
it's like
this
concrete.
this is a child thing. I've seen children with this problem.
Yeah.
The nerd, the nerd at the sleepover would wake up with crusty eyes. Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm dealing with a crusty eye.
I feel like he's also like, you could just probably go and pop it right
No,
open.
dude.
Oh,
You-
drops? Can we get drops? What do we do?
I haven't tried drops. I was
You went
gonna.
to a doctor.
This is 2 days. I'm going to the doctor on Wednesday though.
Oh, because you got to ask him. Maybe he can give you something.
I'm
for
gonna
it.
ask him about this, but yeah, it's become now. I'm 2 days in. I'm gonna give it another day and see what's going on. But yeah, it's weird. I'm like I'm
that's
waking up
Yeah, that's
like
no
something's
fun.
not right. That like
It's probably a side effect.
So you literally, can you see? You have to like feel your way around.
like my eyes feel like oh, in the morning I can't see anything. It's gross.
You can keep a little water next to dip
Is
your
it
fingers in and
pussy?
rub your eyes. And,
No, not
I don't
pussy.
mean.
No,
you
it's-
know what I
it's-
mean? How like sometimes like
No,
like
no,
almost gooey, like an infection.
No. It's like it's almost like somebody at night, like somebody came by and played a little prank on me and glued them shut.
oh my god,
Yeah.
that's awful.
It's
is-
not.
it's
It's
It
not
could be
fun.
like you're on medication, right?
Yeah,
It sounds like
that's what I'm
a
saying.
it sounds like a side
I
effect
feel like
of
that
medication.
is so weird
I
that it's
think
like
it-
a side effect from the cancer meds.
it's got to be. Listen, it's a side effect from this one thing that I've been doing, and I'm look at your battery falling out in your sock.
Well, the problem is there's a snap. You can snap it in. And I didn't snap it in.
You got to snap.
So what is? Wait, what'd you
Wait,
say
you
though?
gotta
They
So I googled what this could be.
one. Can you get off of Google and use DuckDuckGo? Google sucks
Whatever.
Why is DuckDuckGo better
what is
than
the
Google?
difference?
because it gives you different. It's not. It's just. I'll explain it after. It's.
He doesn't even know how to explain it.
DuckDuckGo's whole thing was that it doesn't keep track
It
of the
doesn't keep
services.
track. That's the cool thing. But it also the search
right.
engine. Google will have 10 pages and it's the same shit. There'll be. So
Okay.
like it won't a lot of duplicate sites that are coming
So
up.
I'm only looking at one anyway, and it shows me.
That's why I
What
didn't
about
want to
WebM?
detract
What about
from it.
WebMD?
Yeah, I went. It brought me right
That's
to
where
WebMD.
that's where you want to go.
So I don't know. I had to go to DuckDuckGo to find WebMD.
No, I said use that as your browser. That's all I'm saying.
It's fine. So I go and it says something about if you're tearing a lot, like out of nowhere, a duct is closed, almost like a pipe. Like one pipe gets clogged and the other starts shooting out somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Did
you
Did
still
you
tearing
look
a
up
lot.
side effects
Of what?
of the medication
Of my
you're taking?
I mean, yeah. There's hundreds of it.
Is
So
that one of them?
I didn't see that.
Like,
I didn't
why
see
wouldn't
that.
you look to see if that's one
Wait,
of them?
but are you still tearing a lot, like involuntarily, when you're not sleeping?
A little bit. Yeah, yeah.
So
Or
you're
more
probably
teary-eyed.
leaking, and then it's getting exposed to the air, and then it's, and then it's dry.
that's what's
Yeah,
happening.
that's why his eyes are
Right,
in
okay.
the middle of the night.
Oh,
It's
you
getting
guys
stuck.
I just came to this. You guys,
Yeah,
already,
no,
you guys
that's-
already
Oh
knew that?
yeah, I assume that.
That's why it's
just put that
crusting over
together.
because I'm just
Yeah, they're shut because he's crying at night and his eyes aren't opening, so it's sealing.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm just tearing
It, like,
all day.
dries.
Oh, I guess I'm confused because you said you thought your ducts were closed.
Well, that's
or-
the problem.
That's what I said.
they're
too.
not
It didn't
closed.
make
They
sense.
won't.
They are
stop.
closed. We don't have one duct. There's many ducts. So they're all they're one is closed. So they're leaking out at another duct. Is what I get. Maybe I should look at DuckDuckGo. I don't know.
Why don't you look at your
Duct
thing?
closed.
I was gonna say you need to go to
Why don't you look
Dear
at the
Duck, Dear
side
Duck, go.
effects of your medication? I know there's 100,
Dude,
but
I
why
mean-
wouldn't you look and see if anything with your eyes?
Honestly, I'll tell you why. Because I can't look at these side effects anymore without
Can
getting
you send me the
anxiety.
side effects and I'll look for you since I won't tell you
Sure.
what they could be?
Sure.
Did you buy that hat like that?
I was good.
You want to talk about this hat?
I mean, you know,
I'll tell you
I'll
where-
go all night, but
This hat I got in Portland, Oregon. It was my favorite hat. Fit my head, my head perfectly. From a company called Bridge and Burn. If they're listening, they could send me another product. The thing I had it for 2 years, and then I put it in a drawer where I keep all my winter hats over the winter, and this thing started breaking down. Now I feel like it kind of looks like almost cool.
It looks like there's so many holes that it looks like it's supposed to be.
It almost
I
looks
thought
like
you maybe bought it like that.
yeah. Like it kind of looks like John Stamos would wear it, right?
See,
know,
one
of all
hole,
people, John
Brad
Stamos.
one
Pitt.
hole looks like he has a hole. in
Brad
it.
Pitt, yes.
A
Brad
ton of
Stamos
holes.
is a clean guy.
Stamos is more clean.
Brad Pitt is like a guy who can wear ripped clothes.
He could be
and
hobo
makes it look like
chic.
Hobo chic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
My concern is
John Stamos.
how do the holes just appear
right.
if it's sitting in a drawer?
Moths.
That's my but nothing else got affected in there. It's in
That's what
one.
I'm saying. It wouldn't be all the clothes.
It's in one drawer. This thing just started breaking down, and it sucks because it's my favorite hat, and it's discontinued on the Bridge and Burn website.
Why
And
don't
they're
you write the
expensive hats.
company? They can't- they
This is
can't-
like a $60 hat. Yeah, very
You should
expensive.
write the company. They'll send it to you.
Yeah, now it's been like
What are they gonna do? Remake this
I
one
guarantee
one of
they
these
have
hats?
some of those hats still.
it's been
We
a
still
few
have
years.
old cans of.
He's gonna guarantee.
By the way,
his
can-
company he
I
just
know.
heard
He
of
guarantees
has this hat.
It's
how
a
are you gonna, how are
company
you
in
gonna back up
Portland,
this
Oregon.
guarantee?
You got to email the company.
Yeah, but how you when you guarantee something, you have to back up that guarantee. with
Even
something.
things that are discontinued, that hat is still around somewhere. He could get that hat.
Okay, but you're guaranteeing it. You understand
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, but when you say when there's like a money back guarantee, what do you like? What is your
Well,
guarantee?
I need to. I maybe shouldn't jump to the guarantee, but I feel like give
Well,
me
you can jump to
give
the
me a week
guarantee.
and I'll find that hat.
I just feel like people throw around guarantee with no consequences.
Oh yeah, well, this-
Chick,
'cause
you don't think
there
I've
is no
tried-
consequences if it's not right on that because he's not going to follow through with anything.
Here's the thing.
He hasn't even gotten tested for allergies yet.
Chick, this isn't like a Knicks basketball hat. It's like a. It's,
What I'm saying is
it's
companies
like
make those hats,
It's
right?
a bouquet.
Somebody
bouquet,
probably
what's-
got that hat and it's just
Boutique?
sitting around
It's
the
a-
office.
bouquet. it looks like a bouquet actually.
It's a boutique store in Portland, Oregon. It's not NBA.com. Where
Guarantee it's somewhere.
all right, you
there
find
goes,
it.
there goes again, throwing around guarantee. All
You
right.
guarantee. I guarantee you won't find it.
Do you like the way this hat fits better than my other one?
Oh God, Ryan.
Yes.
If
I
you
was
had,
just curious
I mean,
if
it
you like the
couldn't
way
fit
this
worse.
fits.
if you had any idea how much your words affect this kid.
I got a pick this week.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic movie. You ever see Don't Look Up?
Yeah.
Similar type of movie. It's called Leave the World Behind on Netflix with Ethan Hawke, Julia Roberts, and Marshala Ali. Is that how you pronounce his name?
I don't know. I don't know that person. I don't think.
You know,
You know him.
I guarantee it.
I will guarantee that he knows who that person is. Yeah, fantastic movie. It's kind of like a end of the world type scenario. It takes place out east in Long Island, supposedly.
That's right. Monique was just talking about this because she said she was at the beach and she was like, I recognize that beach.
Yeah. I was, whatever. I'll neither here nor there, but I feel like I had to look where they filmed because I almost didn't believe that they actually filmed it where they said they did. And I think they did, so
Yeah.
I was probably wrong.
Please just film on Long Island.
Yeah, no, I know, but it did. There was a name. It's one of the shots said like Charleston Beach, and where's there?
Oh,
a
yeah, Charleston Beach. I have no idea.
That's what I'm saying. I never
Yeah, but
heard
they
of
could
one.
put like.
That's what I
sign,
realized.
That's
could
what they
put
do.
A sign that, but they didn't fake it. Like they said they were on Long Island. out
Yeah, but
east.
is it? Oh, they said there.
Yeah, like
Okay.
they have they mentioned Sag Harbor and they say they're an hour away.
Okay.
But whatever.
Well, it was like, did you see The Affair?
Yes.
Yes.
So they filmed in like Montauk, but they would like bounce back and forth. I think like, and there's another show, Revenge, which my sister used to watch. I thought it was awful. But they would like bounce back and forth between the Hamptons. Like, oh, we're in, East Hampton, and like they'd pop into Montauk. I'm like, that's an hour and a half drive,
Oh yeah.
and they get bouncing back and forth.
And
But
that's, so the
but they
house
actually
they
shot,
used
but they
is a
actually shot
Westbury
out
house.
those places.
The house in the movie they used was in Westbury. I learned when I did it. But it's basically so this one guy rents the house out to a family. The family's staying there overnight. The owner shows up with his daughter because there's a blackout in the city, and he wanted there's some suspect stuff going on, so he wanted to go out there, and they didn't know that one. She didn't believe him at first that they were the owner, the whole whatever. But then a whole bunch of weird shit starts happening the next couple of days, and it's super intense. It's weird, but it was awesome, and I think it's gonna happen at some point in our lives.
Oh, this is gonna come true.
Yeah, because it's not that far fetched.
Okay.
It's not like apocalypto stuff where it's like.
What do you know about Saltburn?
I heard about it, haven't seen it yet. It's supposed to be coming out to streaming. It's supposed to be amazing.
Yeah,
is
there's mixed reviews, but
Is it a
apparently
movie?
It's very weird. It's a movie, but
Weird.
It's like very weird.
I want to see it. It's like right up on my list. It's just not out on streaming yet.
Godzilla -1.
Never heard of that.
I'm trying to get
apparently
into
it's-
the whole Godzilla series.
Apparently, it's people are loving it. It's
Is
like
it-
an actual Japanese movie.
Oh, it's an app. Okay.
Because then there's also Godzilla
First-
Godzilla X King Kong.
Yeah.
Like they're team up together.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
really?
coming out soon too. But this like
Oh, and
that's
there's
supposed to
also
be-
that new.
The Godzilla vs. King Kong wasn't bad.
There's
Yeah.
also the new Monarch thing that I told you I was interested in.
I haven't seen that.
I'm kind
My
of interested
parents are
in,
into
in
that.
getting into the Godzilla stratosphere.
Me too, because I went to Japan. There's a big statue, a big Godzilla
like,
statue in one of the
huge there.
cities, and it's like, like they talk about. It's like Godzilla's like a thing now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So I'd like
to
to, but I'd like to see this Japanese Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
It interests me more than this kind of.
Well, because they're the ones who it's their thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you would like to think that they're doing it better than we would.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
You guys ever see Bosch?
I love Bosch.
No.
But I'm
gonna
not a
try
big
to-
fan of the legacy.
Okay, I'm gonna watch. I watched the first episode of Bosch. I heard it's good. I watched.
It's
I'm gonna watch-
it's a police show, like a rebel
2014.
detective.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's I watched the whole thing. It was good. But so then what bothers me is they do Bosch Legacy, right? Which is the new season.
I didn't know it was gonna spin off to this.
But they have a spin-off now because it bothers me. And it's supposed to be around sort of like around his daughter, but he's still heavily in it.
Hey, don't spoil it for me, please.
Nothing to spoil. It's out.
Yeah, but I'm.
All you do is go on Amazon, you're gonna see it.
Okay, but I'm gonna I'm gonna-
You know
I'm
what a spoiler is.
watching
right?
the first episode.
I understand that.
If he hasn't seen it, it doesn't matter if it's out or not.
I'm
You-
trying
what I'm
to
saying is the fact that it exists. I'm not spoiling anything.
No. I don't.
But he didn't know it existed until you just said that it existed.
I just.
He's once he goes and watches the second. I'm telling you, he's gonna see it. It's all over Amazon.
Okay, but don't give.
I'm
any-
not giving away anything. All I was saying is
I didn't even know he had a daughter.
she's fucking 50. You want to watch
All right.
one episode?
Just
She's not young.
all right. We'll see.
Regardless, the legacy. My whole point is the spinoff is the same as the original. That was all what I was going to say. I wasn't spoiling anything, and it bothers me that they strapped on a different name to make it seem like it's the same fucking show.
All right. Was it good though?
The Legacy. I watched one season. I didn't watch the second season yet of it. I enjoyed Bosch. I loved. I
All right.
actually
Well, I'm gonna watch Bosch.
a friend of
Okay.
mine that I played football with when I was younger and went to school. Well, did he go to Farmingdale? I don't know. We played football. He was an actor. He was one of the bad guys in the 5th season.
All right, guys. If you made it this far,
Yeah.
we
Watch
appreciate
that
it.
movie on Netflix. Fantastic.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thank you.